South America is ready to welcome the king. The entire continent is preparing for an unprecedented football celebration, because Lionel Messi is coming home. We're not talking about just any promotional tour. We're talking about the Dream Tour, the one that has Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador counting down the days like it's Christmas. When was the last time you saw an entire continent preparing to receive a single player? Welcome home, Leo. Welcome to the place where your name is shouted with the soul and not just with the voice. But there's something here that goes far beyond football. There's an invisible promise that nobody is saying out loud. In this video, you're going to discover 3 things. First, why Latin America is celebrating and what it means for Messi to return to play in the most passionate stadiums in the world. Second, the madness expected in Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador, where they're not rivals but admirers who will have the unique opportunity to see the GOAT in action. And at the end, how Messi feeds off this Latin love to charge his energy for the World Cup. Stay until the end. You'll see how everything fits together, even if it doesn't seem like it now. Inter Miami's pink jersey had never shone so brightly under the lights of South America. When the team's plane landed on South American soil, something changed in the atmosphere. It wasn't just the tropical humidity or the suffocating heat. It was the electricity in the air, that feeling that something historic is about to happen. Airports collapsed. The streets near the hotels where the team is staying filled with people wearing light blue and white jerseys, but also with the colors of Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador. Because this isn't Argentina against the world. This is South America embracing its most illustrious son. Social media exploded days before the team even confirmed training schedules. Videos of fans camping outside stadiums, mothers bringing their young children with signs saying, "My dream is to see you play," grandparents with tears in their eyes recounting how they waited a lifetime for this moment. Latin American passion is not a stereotype. It's a real force that moves mountains and fills stadiums in a matter of seconds. Tickets for the matches sold out in minutes. Not hours. Minutes. Online sales servers collapsed in all 3 countries. What explains such madness for a player who technically comes as a visitor? The answer lies in something few truly understand. Messi is not just a footballer for South America. He's living proof that Latin American dreams can conquer the world. He's the boy from Rosario who left an ordinary city to become a legend. He's the symbol that no matter where you're born, you can reach the top. Every kid playing on a dirt field in Medellin, in Lima, or in Quito sees himself reflected in him. It's no coincidence that parents spend a week's salary on a ticket. They're not buying a ticket. They're buying an eternal memory for their children. But what nobody saw was the private conversation that took place weeks earlier in Inter Miami's offices. A meeting where every detail of this tour was planned with military precision. Because this isn't improvisation. It's pure strategy. The official story says Inter Miami needed preseason matches. That the tour is part of the normal preparation calendar before the MLS season starts. It sounds logical, it sounds routine. But there are huge cracks in that narrative. Inter Miami could have organized friendlies in the United States, in Mexico, even in Europe. Closer places, with less wear from long trips, with simpler logistics. So why cross half a continent to play in South America? The easy version says it's marketing. That the club wants to expand its brand in the Latin American market. And yes, there's truth in that. But the reality is much deeper and more emotional. This tour is a gift. A gift from Inter Miami to Lionel Messi and a gift from Messi to the continent that never stopped adoring him. Because Messi knows his relationship with South America is special. It's not like in Europe, where they respect him. Here they love him with an intensity that borders on the religious. Every training session open to the public in these countries became a spectacle. Stadiums with capacity for 40,000 people opened their doors just to see the team warm up. Just to see Messi touch the ball. And people went. They arrived 5 hours early, under the relentless sun, forming endless lines. Children with their parents, young people who missed work, elderly people who took buses for hours from distant cities. All to see him run, to see him smile, to shout his name and feel that he hears. David Beckham, as the club's owner, perfectly understands the value of this connection. He himself experienced something similar in his career. He knows that football icons are not measured only by trophies. They're measured by the emotional impact they generate. And here appears a clue that changes everything. This tour is not just to warm up engines athletically. It's for Messi to recharge his emotional tank. It's to remind him why he keeps playing at 38 years old when he's already won everything. The scenes at the hotels are revealing. Private security trying to contain crowds singing all night. Entire families waiting in lobbies hoping to see the idol pass by even from afar. Local restaurants where the team dines converted into improvised sanctuaries, with people crowded at the windows as if they were witnessing a miracle. This doesn't happen anywhere else in the world with this intensity. In Europe, football is passion. In South America, it's religion. Messi's teammates at Inter Miami are experiencing something they've never experienced before. Players accustomed to the MLS routine, where stadiums sometimes look half empty, now see packed stands vibrating in unison. Sergio Busquets, who won everything with Barcelona, admitted in an informal interview that he had never felt energy like this outside of Europe. Luis Suarez, the Uruguayan who knows South American passion well, smiles because he knows exactly what's happening. This is not just another tour. It's a pilgrimage. The tactical training sessions took on a different character. Javier Mascherano, Inter Miami's coach and Messi's former teammate in the Argentine national team, took advantage of the atmosphere to inject intensity into the sessions. Because when you train in front of 30,000 people screaming at every touch, every pass, every shot, concentration rises to official match levels. The younger players on the squad are learning what it means to be professional under extreme pressure. They're understanding that football in this region is not a sport. It's identity. And here's where the story gets serious. Because while everyone celebrates the spectacle, there's a silent detail that few analyze. Messi walks differently in these South American stadiums. His body language changes. In the MLS, you see him focused, professional, but with a certain distance. Here, on the other hand, there's a constant smile. There are pauses where he stops to look at the stands, absorbing the chanting, the noise, the madness. As if he were saving every second in his memory. As if he knew these moments are irreplaceable. The tour calendar was strategically designed. Peru opened the tour. Lima, that chaotic and passionate city where football is the escape for millions, received the team first. The monumental stadium dressed up. Giant flags covered the stands. Argentina's anthem played, chorused by Peruvians who sang every word as if it were their own. Because in South America, when Messi plays, borders disappear. It doesn't matter that it's a friendly match with no points at stake. The moment matters. Being able to say, "I was there," matters. The local rivals who faced Inter Miami experienced the strangest paradox of their careers. They're on the field to compete, but also to admire. The defenders marking Messi do so with reverential respect. There are moments where you can clearly see a Peruvian player recovers the ball near Messi and, for a microsecond, hesitates. As if his brain were telling him, "You just took the ball from the greatest of all time." That fraction of a second where admiration crosses with professionalism. Colombia was the next destination. Medellin, Bogota, cities where football is lived with visceral passion. Colombians prepared epic receptions. Street parades, murals painted in record time with Messi's face alongside local legends like Valderrama and Asprilla. The message was clear. You are welcome here, you are part of us. Local media covered every second. News channels interrupted regular programming to broadcast live the team's arrival at the hotel. Helicopters followed the bus from the airport. The level of coverage exceeded important political events. If this surprises you, the next thing will blow your mind. Pre-match gatherings became massive social events. Entire families arrived at the stadium 6 hours before kickoff. Not to get good seats, because they already had their numbered seats. Simply to be close. To breathe the same air. To be part of history. Street vendors tripled prices for jerseys and flags, and still they sold out. Restaurants near the stadiums reported full capacity for days. The local economy felt the impact of Messi's visit in ways no projection had anticipated. Ecuador closed the first stage of the South American tour. Quito and Guayaquil, two cities with their own football identities, united in a common goal, to pay tribute to the genius. Quito's altitude, that factor that historically complicates visiting teams, didn't matter. Inter Miami played with an emotional intensity that compensated for any physical difficulty. Messi scored. Of course he scored. And when the ball went in, the stadium exploded. Ecuadorians celebrating a goal by a foreign team as if their own national team had scored. Because they weren't watching Inter Miami. They were watching Messi. Post-match tactical analyses showed something fascinating. Inter Miami played better in South America than in many regular MLS season matches. The numbers don't lie. More completed passes, greater possession, more shots on goal. Coincidence? No. When you play in front of 70,000 people who pay fortunes to see you, when every touch generates a roar, when every play is celebrated as poetry in motion, the level automatically rises. The passion from the stands transfers to the field. It's basic physics applied to football. Mascherano, in the mixed zone after one of the matches, dropped a phrase that went unnoticed by many but contains a profound truth. Leo needed this. He didn't say, the team needed. He said, Leo. Because everyone on the coaching staff knows that Messi, at this point in his legendary career, doesn't play for money or fame. He plays for love of the game. And that love is rekindled when he feels genuine affection from people. South America is giving him exactly that. If you pay attention to the camera when it focuses on Messi during the anthems, you'll see something revealing. His eyes scan the stands slowly. He's not distracted. He's recording. He's saving those images of giant flags with his face, of children crying with emotion, of families embracing singing his name. Because he knows, better than anyone, that time is finite. That these scenes won't last forever. And that every packed stadium shouting for him is a gift that cannot be taken for granted. Social media flooded with viral videos. A 6-year-old Peruvian boy crying inconsolably when Messi gave him his captain's armband after a match. An 82-year-old Colombian grandfather fulfilling his dream of seeing the world's best player before dying. An Ecuadorian family that sold their car to buy 4 tickets and experience the moment together. Stories that seem made up but are completely real. Stories that demonstrate that football in South America is not entertainment. It's life. But there's a silent factor that explains the impossible. Something that goes beyond statistics and headlines. This tour is charging Messi's emotional batteries for what's coming. The 2026 World Cup is approaching. It will be in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. It will be Messi's last real chance to defend the crown he won in Qatar. And although Argentina is already world champion, Leo knows there's a thirst in him to compete at the highest level one more time. But to reach that moment with the spark intact, he needed to reconnect with the original reason he fell in love with football. And that reason is not in complex tactics or million-dollar contracts. It's in the gaze of a child who sees his hero and believes everything is possible. The team's doctors reported something curious during the tour. Messi arrived in South America with small muscular discomforts normal for his age. But as the matches progressed, his physical condition improved. It didn't worsen, it improved. As if the environment were giving him energy instead of taking it away. Because the human body responds to emotions. When you're happy, when you feel genuine love around you, your physical performance is enhanced. It's science, but it's also magic. The closed training sessions the team held between cities revealed important conversations. Young Inter Miami players asking Messi how he handles the pressure of so many expectations. And he, with that characteristic humility, explaining to them that pressure is a privilege. That millions of people in the world play football without anyone watching them. That having packed stadiums waiting for you is a blessing, not a burden. Those informal talks are shaping the mentality of the club's next generation of players. Inter Miami's management observes all this with strategic satisfaction. Because this tour not only fulfills sporting objectives, it's building bridges with key markets. It's generating valuable content for MLS Season Pass and demonstrating to the world that the American League can attract global attention when it has the right figures. Audience numbers during the matches in South America exceeded projections by absurd margins. Local television networks paid broadcast rights they normally reserve for World Cup qualifiers. Every time you ask yourself if you feel that emotion in your chest watching the tour videos, recognize that you're not alone. Millions across the continent are feeling exactly the same thing. Behind every massive celebration, there's an uncomfortable truth few want to mention. The clock is ticking. Messi is 38 years old. The years he has left playing at the highest level can be counted on the fingers of one hand. And South America knows it. That's why this tour has a bittersweet flavor. It's a celebration, yes, but it's also a gradual farewell. Every match is an opportunity that won't be repeated. Every goal could be the last many see live. Sports journalists who covered the tour wrote emotional chronicles. Veteran journalists, accustomed to maintaining professional distance, admitted they broke down watching the scenes in the stadiums. Because they weren't covering a simple sporting event. They were documenting cultural history. They were witnessing the relationship between a continent and its ultimate idol reaching its final chapter. The cities that received Inter Miami reported increases in tourism during those weeks. People traveling from neighboring countries just to be in the same city as Messi, even if they didn't have tickets to the stadium. Hotels full, flights sold out, streets collapsed. The economic impact was similar to events like world pop star concerts. But with one difference, this wasn't manufactured entertainment. It was authentic. It was organic. It was pure love for football. Messi's Argentine teammates at Inter Miami, like Busquets, De Paul, and Suarez, understood during this tour why Leo is so special to this continent. They themselves are legends, but the reaction is not the same. When Suarez scores, people applaud. When Messi touches the ball, people pray. There's a spiritual dimension in the way South America adores him that transcends sport. And as Inter Miami's plane took off from Ecuador bound for the United States, completing the South American tour, something remained floating in the air of those three countries. A collective feeling of gratitude. Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador didn't just see elite football. They received confirmation that they still matter on the global sports map. That their stadiums, their passion, their love for the game deserve the presence of the greatest. That they are not the periphery. They are the heart. But what nobody knows is what this tour left in Messi. We're not talking about nice memories or anecdotes to share in future interviews. We're talking about something much deeper that is transforming his mentality for what's coming. Because when a player of his caliber experiences what he experienced in those South American stadiums, something changes inside him. And that change is exactly what Inter Miami needed. The locker room after the last match in Ecuador revealed a scene few saw. Messi sitting in silence, still wearing the pink jersey soaked in sweat, staring fixedly at his boots. It wasn't physical tiredness. It was emotional processing. Busquets approached and put a hand on his shoulder. They said nothing. It wasn't necessary. Both knew they had just been part of something unique. The younger players on the squad watched from a distance, not daring to interrupt that moment. Because even they, in their inexperience, understood they had witnessed a connection between a player and a continent that cannot be taught in any academy. And the powerful thing is that this is just beginning. Because the energy Messi absorbed in South America is not to be spent immediately. It's long-lasting fuel. It's the type of motivation that makes you train harder, tolerate pain better, maintain focus when everything around you is chaos. Inter Miami's physical trainers noticed subtle changes in his attitude during sessions after the return. Greater intensity in sprints, more communication with teammates, that spark in the eyes that sometimes fades with routine but now shines with renewed strength. The easy version says Messi came back happy from the tour because people love him. That it's nice to be adored and that lifts anyone's spirits. And yes, there's truth there. But that's just the surface, the explanation someone without deep context would give. The reality is that Messi found in those South American stadiums something he had lost without realizing it. The pure reason he started playing. When you're 8 years old and kick a ball on a small field in Rosario, you don't think about tactics or contracts. You think about the joy of the game. You think about making the people watching you happy. And over the years, with extreme professionalization, with constant pressure, that simplicity dilutes. It becomes work, obligation, expectation. But in Lima, in Bogota, in Quito, Messi reconnected with that 8-year-old boy. He saw in the eyes of thousands of South American kids the same brightness he once had. And that's not nostalgia. It's rediscovery. The effects of that reconnection are already showing. In Fort Lauderdale training sessions, Mascherano implemented complex tactical exercises preparing for the new season. And there's the difference. Messi doesn't just execute them. He leads them. He corrects teammates' positions, suggests variants, stays after official sessions to work on free kicks. That level of commitment doesn't come from a salary or contractual obligation. It comes from having a renewed purpose. It comes from knowing that every training session brings you closer to being ready for the moments that matter. And for Messi, after South America, the moment that matters is clear: reaching the 2026 World Cup in the best possible condition to defend the crown. But how do you maintain that level of motivation during months of regular league play? How do you prevent that flame from going out? The answer lies in something sports psychologists call emotional memory banks. Every time Messi feels fatigue, every time a muscle hurts more than normal, every time the temptation to lower intensity appears, his brain can access those images from South America. He can mentally hear the roar of 70,000 people shouting his name. He can feel again the chill of seeing a child crying with emotion just from watching him warm up. And that mental access works as immediate energy injection. It's not self-deception. It's scientifically proven emotional anchoring. Rivals in MLS don't know what's coming, because the Messi who returned from South America is not the same one who left. There's a different determination. In the first matches of the season, it showed more aggressiveness in recovery, more vocal presence on the field, more visible leadership. Inter Miami desperately needed that. It needed its biggest star to be not just a name on the jersey, but an engine that drives the rest. And the South American tour activated that engine. If you like this video, you help more people understand what's really happening with Messi. Media in the United States began noticing the change. Analysts who previously saw him as a figure closer to retirement than elite competition now recognize there's something different. Post-tour statistics confirm it. More kilometers covered per match, more key passes, more participation in defensive plays. They're numbers, yes, but behind each number is a conscious decision to get more involved. And that decision has a clear origin. South America reminded him why it's worth the effort. The impact is not just individual. All of Inter Miami benefits. Because when the team's natural leader raises his level, he drags the rest along. Young players who see Messi staying 30 extra minutes after training feel ashamed to leave early. Veterans like Busquets and Suarez, who could justify slowing down due to age, renew their commitment seeing that the best of all doesn't relax. That culture of excellence is not built with motivational speeches. It's built with daily example. And the example Messi is giving post-South America is relentless. So that would be it, right? Well, no. Because there's an additional factor that completely changes the equation of what's coming. Inter Miami doesn't just have to compete in MLS. It has international tournaments, it has the Leagues Cup, it has commitments that go beyond the domestic league. And each of those tournaments will be an opportunity for Messi to demonstrate that the South American spark wasn't temporary. That it wasn't a 2-week emotional high that then fades. The club sponsors are watching. Apple TV broadcasts have record audiences every time he plays. But more important than any commercial metric is the real question. Can Messi maintain this level until the World Cup? The short answer is, it depends. The long answer requires understanding how physical wear works in elite footballers close to 40 years old. The body no longer recovers the same way. Injuries that used to heal in 2 weeks now take 4. Consecutive matches take a higher toll. But this is where mentality makes the difference. Because when you have a powerful emotional reason to take care of yourself, to follow medical protocols to the letter, to prioritize rest over distractions, the probability of arriving intact at important moments increases exponentially. Mascherano understands this better than anyone. He was Messi's teammate for years. He knows his limits, his pains, his tricks for managing energy. And as Inter Miami's coach, his job is not to squeeze Messi to the last drop. His job is to dose him intelligently. That means strategic rotations, matches where he doesn't play the full 90 minutes, personalized training sessions. Everything calibrated for one objective: that he arrives in the summer of 2026 in condition to shine. Skeptics will say it's impossible. That age is relentless. That no player can stay in the elite at that age, no matter how much motivation they have. And they have some point. Biology isn't negotiable. But sports history is full of athletes who defied longevity expectations because they found reasons more powerful than pain. Roger Federer playing elite tennis past 35. Tom Brady winning Super Bowls at 43. LeBron James dominating the NBA at 39. They all had something in common: an unbreakable mentality fueled by genuine love for their sport. Messi has that love. South America reconfirmed it for him. And that's the real gift of the tour. Now comes the part nobody expected. The revelation that explains everything you saw in this video. Because when we talk about Messi feeding off Latin love to charge energy, it's not a nice phrase. It's literal. Studies in sports psychology show that elite athletes who feel deep emotional connection with their audiences produce more endorphins during competition. Those endorphins act as natural painkillers. They allow better pain tolerance, maintain focus under pressure, recover energy faster. It's not magic. It's brain chemistry activated by positive emotions. What happened in the stadiums of Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador wasn't just a nice spectacle. It was a massive injection of that emotional fuel Messi needed. Every hug from a fan who snuck into training, every tear from a child in the stands, every chant that reverberated off the stadium walls, all of that became storable energy. Accessible motivation. Concrete reasons to keep going when the body says, no more. Science backs it up, but reality confirms it. In the weeks following the tour, Messi didn't just maintain his level. He raised it. The club's medical data shows his resting heart rate dropped, a clear indicator that his nervous system is more relaxed. His sleep quality improved. His appetite normalized. All signs of an athlete who is at mental peace. And that peace didn't come from a vacation on a paradise beach. It came from feeling loved unconditionally in the place that means most to him. Inter Miami's technical staff now has a clear map. They know that before important moments of the season, Messi needs emotional reminders. Videos from the South American tour, messages from Latin fans, connections with his Argentine essence. It's not manipulation. It's psychological maintenance. It's ensuring that the flame lit in South America doesn't go out from league routine. Because here's the final truth that closes everything. Messi is not playing for money or fame. He already has all that. He's playing because he loves the feeling of making people happy. And South America showed him that his capacity to generate massive happiness remains intact. That at 38 years old, with everything won, he can still fill stadiums with people who cry with emotion just from seeing him. That's a drug more potent than any trophy. It's pure purpose. It's reason for being. When he lands in some North American stadium in the summer of 2026, wearing the albiceleste jersey and the captain's armband, he will carry with him something invisible but devastatingly powerful. He will carry the memory of every South American shout. He will carry the image of every flag with his face. He will carry the beautiful weight of knowing that millions of people deposited their dreams in him. And that weight won't sink him. It will elevate him. Because that's the paradox of the truly great. The pressure that destroys others fuels them. And the South American tour gave Messi the largest reserve of that pressure fuel he could receive. It wasn't a promotional tour. It was a spiritual recharge. It wasn't marketing. It was love in its purest form. And that love, now stored in his muscular and emotional memory, is what will lead him to attempt the impossible once more. The next time you see him play, pay attention. Watch how he closes his eyes for a second before executing an important free kick. Watch how he breathes deeply when the match gets difficult. Watch how he smiles even when the scoreboard is against him. In those moments, he's accessing South America. He's mentally hearing those chants. He's feeling again that collective embrace. And that makes him unstoppable. Because in the end, football is a game. But what South America gave Messi transcends the game. It's confirmation that his life has meaning beyond goals and trophies. It's proof that his existence as a footballer brightened millions of lives. And when an athlete has that clarity, when he knows with certainty that his effort truly matters, limits expand. The dream tour didn't end when the plane took off from Ecuador. It's just beginning to show its true effects. Because everything coming now, every Inter Miami match, every challenge in MLS, every preparation for the World Cup, everything is being driven by that South American energy. Messi came home. And by coming home, he found the reason to keep being the king. And what's about to come this season will make everything before seem like just the warm-up.